As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I'm joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology Meerut, deemed to be university, and its Center of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies. Extend greetings to all the participants from India and abroad who are attending today the National Webinar Series on Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in Agriculture. This webinar series is being hosted on every Thursday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Today is 4th March 2021. This webinar is on the topic Empowering Farmers Through Extension and Knowledge Dissemination, the role of mass media. Empowering Farmers Through Extension and Knowledge Dissemination, role of mass media. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the university, and on my behalf, and as Professor Emeritus and Chairman of the Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, welcome our today's guest speaker, Professor Dr. Sir Hari Om Srivastava. He is an architect of community radio in India, former Additional Director General, All India Radio and Doordarshan, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India and New Delhi, and President and CEO, World Development Foundation, Delhi. So far, under this webinar series, the university has organized 22 webinars on the topics, namely, role of agricultural cooperative societies and e-governance, blockchain technology-based fishery value chain, a self-contained village, a felt need of the day, spices informatics network value chain, lantana camera, a camouflaged treasure trove, smart hill agriculture, Mera mobile, Mera marketing, integrated mariculture, aquaponics, and precision agriculture. In short, MAPA biofarms for income revolution, smart tribal agriculture, optimizing value chain, digital agri-tech and industry perspective, land resources information system in India, present and road ahead, weather decision technologies for increasing farm income, big data in smart farming, sustainable soil and land management for climate smart agriculture, understanding market dynamics for increasing farm income, role of technologies in mitigating crop risk, how to generate additional profit via simple, attractive approaches in farm produce, adoption of flexi rubber check dam technology, potential benefit for farmers in rainfed and coastal agro ecosystems, realizing the economic benefits of agroforestry by a panel of experts, Dr. Ayanadar Arunachalam, Dr. Mahendra Singh, and Mr. M. Perinbam. Across all, organic humic solutions by increasing crop yields and quality while increasing farm income and improving soil health. Closing the nutrient loop, phosphorus management in protein farming, improving nutrient use efficiency and farm productivity. Artificial intelligence enabled pest management technology for agricultural crop protection. Artificial intelligence enabled pest management technology for agricultural crop protection without pesticides. Today is the 23rd edition of this national webinar series, which will be addressed by the architect of community radio in India, Professor Dr. Harimum Srivastava. The keywords are empowering farmers, extension and knowledge dissemination, and the role of mass media. Agriculture sector is the foundation of Indian economy. It employs more than 50% of India's workforce and contributes almost 17 to 18% of its GDP. At present, agricultural livelihoods are being severely impacted world over as a result of global warming and climate change. India's labor-intensive and subsistence-based agriculture sector is particularly vulnerable to this development. Climate change has both direct and indirect effects on agriculture productivity, including changing rainfall patterns, severe drought, flooding, and changes in the geographical redistribution of pests and diseases. Farmer needs timely, location-specific, and personalized information for effective control on their production, risk, and then market their produce to identified market opportunities. Many national level programs, namely Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India, and Stand Up India, have faced operational difficulties for its impact at farm level and farmer level, that too at small and marginal farmers. Small and marginal farmers constitute about 85% of the total farming community operational holders in India. Reforms towards digitalization of agricultural system. The Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 report 2018, is the major reforms towards digitalization of agricultural sector in India. Government of India, through its National Informatics Center, has prepared IT blueprint for agriculture sector through a national conference on informatics for sustainable agriculture development in May 1995. And in 2005, the Government of India launched National E-Governance Program in Agriculture, NEGPA. Now, through the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 report, which was submitted to the government 2018, which had 4 volumes out of 12, namely Post-Production Agri-Logistic, Maximizing Gains for Farmer, volume 3, Post-Production Intervention, Agriculture Marketing, volume 4, Empowering the Farmers through Extension and Knowledge Dissemination, volume 11, Digital Technology in Agriculture, volume 12B, with the intent to achieve efficiency gains and convert into profitability from farm to fork. Agriculture logistic is the backbone for agribusiness, and agriculture marketing is the brain behind value realization. Farmers' produce must connect with multiple avenues to obtain value at each place across time and space and in various forms. Volume 12B has suggested strategic use of digital technology in farming systems life cycle through 7 mission mode project, which is given in its chapter 10 as below. Digitalized agriculture in 3 verticals: smart irrigated agricultural system, smart rain-fed agriculture systems, and smart tribal agriculture systems. Digitalized agromet advisories and agricultural risk management solutions. Digitalized agricultural resources information system and micro-level planning for achieving smart village and smart farming. Digitalized agriculture value chain for about 400 agricultural commodities. Digitalized access to inputs, technology, knowledge, skill, agricultural finance, credit, marketing, and agribusiness management to farmers. Digitalized integrated and land water management systems facilitating per drop more crop. And lastly, the digitalized farm health management for reduction of farmers' loss, integrating human health, that is farmer health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and fish health. It is facilitating a strong ecosystem between animal, agriculture, and nutrition and human health. There are 3 farm acts which were enacted and legislated during 2020. Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act, Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Act, and Essential Commodities Amendment Act. These 7 mission mode projects related to digital technology in agriculture, and these 3 acts facilitate the role of mass media for our farming community, for agriculture systems development. And we have to reach the last mile connectivity, that is the farmer and farm. And the country has to have a comprehensive database on national farmers database, national database on farmers, and national database on farm. These two commodities are very essential. They become the fundamental digital assets. Farmer database and farm database are the fundamental data assets for the agriculture development in India. Let us see the Atmanirbhar Bharat, the road ahead. This is the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, of making India self-reliant. Rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation, based on 5 pillars: economy, quantum jump; infrastructure, one that represents modern India; systems, 21st century technology driven; vibrant demography, source of energy for self-reliant India; demand, whereby the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity. This was announced on 15th May 2020 by central government. Coming back to Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture, during the 3rd tranche of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, Government of India has allocated rupees 1.5 lakh crore as a booster for the agricultural sector development. Now, let us see the volume 11 of the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 report. It very extensively talks about the role of mass media. Chapter 6 in that report, volume 11. It talks about agricultural extension service delivery has been conceived with communicating research findings and improved agricultural practices to the farmers. Information on agriculture, both crop and livestock, was communicated among farmers from ancient times. However, with the development in agriculture research, need arises to transfer new information and technologies to the users, that is farmer. Agriculture extension can result in a domino effect by bridging the lab and land in a 2-way communication mode, as also connecting farmer to farmer, besides lab to lab more effectively. Further, the lab and land needed to be connected in a bidirectional mode to mutual benefit. Mass media are essential ingredients needed for effective transfer of technologies that are designed to boost agriculture production. To fulfill this need, mass media like newspapers, magazines, radio, TV, film, and internet play a vital role. Women have never been acknowledged as farmers, even though making substantial contribution, and women farmers have rarely found adequate and appropriate representation in state-owned sponsored mass media, be it in print, TV, or radio programs. TV, radio, Doordarshan Kisan, backed by technology advancement. Farm telecast continues to be an attractive source of agricultural information to rural population. Thanks to the increase in the number of television channels, agricultural programs have gone up substantially in number. However, the timeshare and the content delivery need attention. Some of the agricultural programs telecast by TV channel, both public and private, are given below. DD Kisan TV, Hindi and regional languages, which were inaugurated in 2015. Green TV is a private TV channel launched in 2014. Yenadu TV Telugu, which has got a daily programs, and Som TV in Marathi. Apart from using the vast network of television channels and radio purely for flow of technical information, it can be extensively used to publicize success stories of farmers who have demonstrated profitable agriculture besides utilizing their services in outreach programs. It can be extensively used to publicize. Community radio stations. Community radio stations provide updated agricultural information, which is location specific, to a group of villages. The local population can be reached instantaneously and cost effectively. ATMA centers, Agriculture Technology Management Agency centers of the government, provided for establishment of community radio stations in all the districts by funding infrastructure and content development for 2 years. However, response has not been encouraging. Only few community radio stations units have been established under the ATMA program. Some of the important reasons are delay in obtaining the license, restrictions on advertisement time, and challenges of creating attractive content. One of the ways of improving their viability is to motivate all the developmental agencies, both public and private, in the jurisdictional area to use common radio stations to advocate and promote their activities. Print media is still the value addition by high literacy rate. Despite the advent of televisions and instantaneous media like social media, print media has not lost its glory or its relevance. It's observed that the print media in agriculture has been growing steadily over time. With its long shelf life, the print media can be read and referred to by the farmers and agripreneurs and as and when they want. It is suggested that most popular agriculture magazines in the specific area could be subscribed to in favor of all the extension service providers with Atma financial support. Farm journalism is another vehicle for extension services and outreach. Mass communication and journalism education assumes new significance in the age of globalization and communications. Mass media are an agent of information education, entertainment, and motivation. They open up the farmers to accepting agricultural innovations and technology, and therefore serve as a vehicle for such transfer. Agriculture extension is extensively a communication process, and it conveys improved or recommended or alternate practices to the farmers with a view to improving their methods of agricultural production and marketing of their produce. In broader terms, farm journalism is the science of conceptualizing, developing, and operationalizing information activities through various media that are supportive of agricultural extension. Farm journalism is an integral part of agricultural extension systems, and its growth is directly proportional to the performance of extension process, coverage, impact, and adoption. Agriculture journalism includes print journalism, online journalism, photojournalism, broadcast journalism, radio and television, agriculture and developmental journalism, and media ethics and press laws. A candidate with a degree in agricultural science or allied field can take up a postgraduate diploma program in journalism and become a well-qualified to start a career in the field. India needs at least one such farm, journalist in every block. It means that the country needs about 6,500 block level, agriculture farm journalists in the country to promote agricultural activities and also to help the smaller marginal farmers in a very effective manner in achieving the goal of doubling farmers' income by 2022. While discussing on the role of mass media in agriculture on 15th September 2017, myself as the chairman of Indian Chambers of Food and Agriculture Working Group on ICT talked about the media alternatives to lead future extension by examining the role of social media in agriculture and how we can take advantage of internet. There are three components to internet media: social media, email, and farm portal. And is suggested that it has to be in 22 constitutionally recognized languages to be able to do service for the common man in a very cost-effective manner. We need to reach the farmers through social media, through email, and a farm portal in local languages. Social media is viewed as most powerful tool to connect with billions of people, and its role can be strengthened by quality mass media and content generation. Amongst the communication technologies available for mass outreach, still radio is preeminent. Let us now turn to the address by the architect of community radio in India, Professor Dr. Sir Hari Om Srivastava, on the topic empowering farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination, role of mass media. Today's topic will motivate and galvanize the participants watching over telecast through facebook.com/Shobhit University India or youtube.com/Shobhit University in for establishing agri-tech startups, at least one in every block, resulting in establishment of 6,500 agri startup in radio farm journalism. Let me invite Dr. Hari Om Srivastava to address the participants. Before that, let me introduce Dr. Hari Om Srivastava. Dr. Professor Hari Om Srivastava. Just one minute. Professor Dr. Hari Om Srivastava, he was from Indian Broadcasting Service. He was the former Additional Director General, Additional Secretary to Government of India, both in All India Radio and Doordarshan, and currently he is the President and CEO of World Development Foundation. Dr. Srivastava has provided turnkey solutions for the use of ICT and mass media for removing poverty in India, Asia, and Africa. Dr. Srivastava worked for expansion of broadcast network in the country for past 50 years in various capacities. He was involved in policy formulation and implementation of government and private broadcasting in India, both commercial and Community Radio Act. He has formulated rules, regulations, act, and the technology for community radio station in India. As head of All India Radio resources, he provided services in installing 40 numbers of educational high-power FM transmitters in the country for IGNOR, Gyan Vani channel, a number of commercial stations and community radio stations, and agriculture channel of Ministry of Agriculture and Government of India. Dr. Srivastava has been responsible for expansion of radio and TV, digital, satellite, mobile, handheld, etc. He established BECAL, a government company, All India Radio Resources, IT division of All India Radio and Doordarshan, Agriculture Knowledge Dissemination System in the state of Bihar and for the government of Ethiopia. Dr. Srivastava has received several national and 7 international awards and has written 6 books and about 150 research papers in the national and international journals. He worked as Commonwealth and ITU expert in Malaysia. He is now currently adjunct professor in YMCA University of Science and Technology, Faridabad, consultant to Gerson Lerman Group, a New York-based world's leading B2B platform connecting professionals with expertise, consultant to Visa Q, an expert network service based in Japan, and honorary director of several colleges. We welcome Professor Srivastava to address the national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture, and the topic, empowering farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination, role of mass media. Over to Dr. Srivastava.
Thank you, Professor Moni, and it was great listening to a lot of areas related to agriculture extension and how the farmers' income can be doubled by 2022 in India and other places. A number of topics you have covered and a lot of knowledge. In fact, I gained a lot of knowledge from what you have been speaking and the vast area that you cover. A wonderful job is being done by you, and definitely not only the Indian community but the world community will be able to get benefit out of these series that you are doing it. It is a wonderful initiative and needs all applause for it. Thank you very much. And I will be using some presentation to show certain things and show how a community radio, what it is, what is broadcasting, how can they be used, and how we have tried to use in the last at least 60 years in this country. So I am switching to sharing my presentation, and I will switch to presentation. Here, share the screen. Okay. So we start on the topic empowering farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination, role of mass media. And I am Dr. H. Srivastava, and these slides have been prepared by Aparajita Srivastava, who is Honorary Director of World Development Foundation. So let us go through these slides, and we will be discussing at the end. If there are any questions, I will be very happy to share with you. So I go to next one. I am sharing a very small video to tell about World Development Foundation. And also an integrated solution.
Voice is not coming.
What? There is something wrong? So how will the voice go? Sharing, is there something to do for the voice?
Sir, please stop sharing the screen and share again. And while sharing your screen, there is a small icon share
Yes, 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 yes,
audio. So tick on the audio
yes,
also.
yes, 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 yes. And there will be some audio.
Yes,
What is
sir.
audio?
First, stop sharing.
Share audio must be here.
No, no,
Come.
no. Yes, sir. Now,
And
when
now,
you share the screen, there is
yes,
a small icon at
yes.
the top. Share audio. Click share audio, then and then share.
All right. Okay. Share screen. And there must be. Okay. Now you go here. Share screen. Yeah.
Yes, sir. At bottom there is a icon share audio. Click on that and then share.
Some screens let you share audio. You go here. Share screen. And then you will get a share audio. Now
Yes,
it's
sir.
okay. Yes, now it is okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
World Development Foundation, New Delhi, India, is a knowledge-based global foundation which provides solutions in the field of education and agriculture by using ICT, broadcasting, and new media to achieve SDG 2030 goals. It has set up throughout the country and internationally broadcast and ICT-enabled digital systems. It also conducts research and organizes seminars in emerging fields of science and technology.
World Development Foundation, New Delhi, India, is one-stop place for all your media-related requirements, including broadcasting and IT. It provides turnkey solution for setting up community radio station, commercial radio stations, media centers, TV stations, satellite channels, and also it works for audio and video production. The organization has experts with experience of more than 40 years in the field of broadcasting and IT.
The foundation conceived, designed, and implemented a unique agriculture knowledge dissemination system for Bihar government by setting up an integrated communication center in Bihar Agriculture University, Sabor. Shri Nitish Kumar, Honorable Chief Minister of Bihar, inaugurated the center comprising of the most sophisticated equipment. The first such system in the country has been established under the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. The system provides exchange of knowledge-based material interactively with the farmers located at various districts of Bihar. The center is equipped for production of high-quality video programs on various subjects of agriculture technology. The setup also includes a community radio station for distribution of knowledge related to agriculture and also providing entertainment. The integrated system uses another community radio station at Bharatpatna.
Okay, I think now you can hear me.
You can carry on.
Okay, perfectly. Okay. So go to the next slide.
No, yeah, that's like, yeah.
So just now I gave a small
The,
video.
the new slide is not visible. It is still in the previous one. Okay, now it's coming. Yeah.
Okay, just now just what I showed you was a small example of how an integrated mass media and ICT solution can be used for agriculture extension, which we did in Bihar Agriculture University way back in 2011. And they have got 2 awards for doing this type of work. Best e-governance in agriculture award and best university award, and they have also presented this solution in the BBC. Some news came there. Okay, this was just a show. Then we will try to explain what we did and how we did it. Now, what is happening is mass media and ICT at one time were 2 different things. People thought mass media is different, ICT is different. Now everything is converging. So when I'm going to talk of the mass media, I will not go to the print media, and I will say why I'm not going to print media in due course. And first I am going only to the mass media, which is broadcasting. Now we all know broadcasting are 3 types. One is broadcasting, which is known as public broadcasting, and that is state-owned broadcasting, just like All India Radio or BBC, and almost all countries are having, which is somehow controlled by mostly by the government, or at least funded by the government. We inherited 5 radio stations in 1947 in All India Radio at the time of independence. That was the taken over by All India Radio. Then there is commercial and private broadcasting, which we started in about 2001. And the example is Radio Mirchi or Radio City, are similar broadcast stations, which we are having about 400 in the country now. But they are totally commercial based. So commercial based means they have to run the business and they have to earn their profit. And therefore, most of these radio stations resort to film music and similar programs so that they can earn some profit. The third type of broadcasting is known as community broadcasting, which is supposed to be a non-profit service, which is to be built, managed, and operated by the community. And this is called voice to voiceless. And as Professor Moni was telling, that the new media, because of the convergence, now there is hardly any difference between the mass media, which was traditionally the broadcasting, one to many, and the new media, which is also one to many. Now, how they are affecting us, mass media and ICT? The first thing is, especially when we are going for the public service, they provide conviviality and culture. Conviviality is a special thing. It must have some friendliness. Then culture. It must be based on your culture and traditions. It is the best medium for education, skill development, and it is capable of providing economic equity, opportunity, and sustainability. information delivery, and then it is an ideal framework for doubling the farmer's income. Now, we all are talking of doubling the farmer's income. And as Professor Moni told in great detail, the steps that has been taken in the last 5 years for doing it. Now, when we talk about doubling the farmer's income, one thing which is very important to remember is that the productivity of our farmers in India is just 2% as compared to a farmer in USA. 2%. One farmer is productive, which is equivalent to 50 farmers in this country. Why? This is due to lack of education, skill, knowledge, and capacity. What is the steps? How can we do it? Traditional agriculture that we have been following from ages, it shifted to precision agriculture, and then we are talking of knowledge agriculture, which is a trademark of World Development Foundation. When we talk about the traditional agriculture, what it was, this is something looks what we are doing in India and many countries. We visited Ethiopia, Nepal, and some of the other countries in Africa. So this is the type of farming that we are doing it. You can find here you can see is putting the pesticide all through. Here he is doing the irrigation, just putting water into the farm. And what happens is, along with the pesticide that you put, when you put the water or when there is a rain, the entire pesticide is going to the earth. It is coming back, it is getting circulated. We are spoiling the entire environment and the climate, and we are adversely affecting the health of our people, our cows, our buffaloes, and all the things. And result is, even if my income doubles, the farmer's income doubles, if we are not able to preserve the climate, then ultimately you may earn from somewhere and spend somewhere else. So this is the traditional farming. We have to go ahead of the traditional farming, and we have to attain what is known as knowledge agriculture. This is the knowledge agriculture. Something that will look like that. If you say it, the knowledge agriculture is something which is being used in some of the countries. And this is how their productivity has increased so many times of our productivity. And what they are doing is they are using certain electrodes which are taking the data from soil and plant. They are using the satellite. They are using the satellite communication system, and they are also using robotics. They are using IoT. They are using UAV is the same thing, drones for spreading the pesticides. And then there is an agri-bot laser system based positioning system. And then this is another research that we have done, and I'm trying to put the philosophy that we can have the cloud. And if we provide the cloud-based system, then it is a part of broadcasting. We can cover a very large area. A number of software has been done. The data is being gathered on soil, on seeds, on fertilizer, and weather. And there are so many agricultural software that Professor Moni was talking, like smart zone farming, weather modeling, fertilizer modeling. smart micro irrigation, etc., etc. Now here what is happening is that we are preserving our climate, we are maintaining, sustaining the climate, and if you want to irrigate, all the plant doesn't need the water, then why we are wasting the water on all the plants? We can selectively use the drone system, or we can use some system, robotic system, to water that plant which needs it. Similarly, the fertilizer and the chemical and the pesticide can be used on only those plants which we need it. Here what we are doing is we are putting on all, whether it needs or it doesn't need for it. And then, see, most important is we are wasting our climate. Second thing is, we are also, if we are not going to the knowledge agriculture, then we are bound to the climate and we are bound to the rain god. If rain comes, okay. If it doesn't come, it's gone. So there will be either flood or there will be drought or something like that. Can we control it? Yes, there is some way to do it. And what Fujitsu is doing in Finland. Finland is having very harsh weather. It's very cold. And they are not able to get certain leaf-based vegetables in harsh weather during winter. Therefore, they thought, can something be done to get it produced here itself in the winter? And Fujitsu, which is a Japanese company, they have created entire artificial light plant factory, and they have projected their income in billions in next 2 years. So if we really want to make the agriculture helpful, then we have to increase the yield. We have to increase the yield. There is no other way. We have to increase the yield and we have to make it sustainable. If yield goes up, then every farmer will become richer. So this is the methodology. This is the way that we have to follow, not only for doubling the income. Why not trebling and 4 times or 550 times? It will happen. But how will it happen? When we are talking of all these high technologies, how the farmer, and just Professor Moni told 82% of farmers in India are the poor and marginal farmers. How are they going to understand what we are talking? We are all experts and talking in our language, and then we can understand each other's. But does the person who really needs it, does he understand? And how he will understand it? So there is a need. There is a long way to do it. We have to increase their knowledge. They must learn what we are talking and how can they adopt the newer technologies. And it has to be assisted by ICAR, Agriculture Ministry, and the government. And then only the farmers' income will really increase. We go to the next slide. Now I'm coming again to the basics because we are talking of the mass media. And as I told that when I talk of the mass media, I'm only talking of the communication technology. I'm not going to the print technology. The communication technology we find is much superior as compared to the print technology because many of the farmers in our country, as well as in African country, they do not have capacity to read papers or they don't have access to the print media. But when we talk of the mass media communication, then this communication can happen in their own language, in their own dialects, and in a country like India, where there are so many languages. How do we communicate with all the people? So mass media will afford them to listen and get knowledge, maybe skill to some extent, by broadcasting in their own languages. Now we all know, if we trace the history, it was Marconi in 1901. that put the transatlantic communication. And it was the advent of a communication based on shortwave, which is almost gone from the world today. Nobody is doing shortwave broadcasting because of certain problems and because of newer technologies coming in. The next step was 1933. Armstrong, who was the person who brought the FM. And FM is a technology which is limited by its reach, because once we put a transmitter, then it reaches only to a limited distance, depending upon the height of the tower and also the topography of the place. So to a limited extent, we can use the FM transmitters, but it is very popular throughout the world these days. Indian community radio works on FM technology in the country. All the private FM broadcasting is also using FM technology in our country. Then the third great step was in 1926, John Logie Baird, who invented the TV. And then the most charming thing especially for Professor Moni, who is expert, it was 1969 that Windsurf and Bob Kahan, they put APRANET and they were able to transmit LU, L-U, in USA, I think to MIT University. Now, this is the technology which is available today. And as I told, the shortwave is almost fading out. They are trying to have digital shortwave, not very successful. So it is fading. FM going very strong. And of course, TV going very strong. And what we are having today, I show you DD studio in Delhi. So a lot of programs are made from here and broadcast. So you can have the audio and video both. This is the real studio of All India Radio Trichy, where we are having a lot of programs, including programs for farmers. The Kisan channel of radio comes from here. I will come to the Kisan channel slightly after some time. And then social media, of course, Professor Moni talked that this is very important. Of course, there is a maze of social media, and it is always difficult to find out what is of our use. So this is the type of technology that we are going. Now, what happened is, when I was tracing the history, I told you that, we in 1947 got 5 radio stations, which have gone now to about 500 today for All India Radio. And it was the All India Radio under central government. And then when I was in Prasar Bharat, Ministry of INB, then there was always a conflict that, this is under central law and broadcasting can be done only by central agencies, not by state agencies. But slowly they agreed with a lot of our persuasion in 2001 that, okay, we can open it to the commercial broadcasting. And then the frequencies were auctioned, people purchased it, and they are running about 300 to 400 commercial radio stations these days. And then all of a sudden, there was thinking, and it is a very nice story. Let me show you perhaps the next slide. Okay.
Let us listen to Dr. H.O. Srivastava, the architect and father of technology, about the birth of community radio in India directly.
It was August of 2002, and I had gone to the residence of Madam Sushma Swaraj, the then Minister of Information and Broadcasting. The purpose was to brief her about some parliament question. After discussions were over, he just asked me, Dr. Srivastava, there are so many community radio stations in US and other countries which broadcast regular programs such as traffic condition and weather. Why can't we have these in India? When I asked to your top people in Prasar Bharati, they say it is not feasible in India. My answer was, Madam, I don't foresee any problem technically, and we can definitely have these in India. She wanted me to prepare a document and plan and give it to her directly. I came back, word on the details, such as latest plan, the technology, the system design, casting, etc., and handed over the document to her in next few days. She discussed this paper with Shri Anil Bajal, the then Additional Secretary in the Ministry of INB, and handed the documents to him for further action. Myself and Sri Bajal had a few discussions and meetings on different aspects of establishing community radio in the country. The final draft was ready, and it was the draft for Community Radio Act. This draft was put up to the government, and finally the draft was approved as a Community Radio Act in December 2002. So this is how the community radio came here, and the reluctance from the top people in Ministry of INB and All India Radio was, they thought that if private radios have come in the form of commercial radio, if community radio comes, there will be higher competition. And in fact, one of my top boss at that time told me that, Dr. Srivastava, you want to kill All India Radio? I told no, I want to make it more competitive. Only the people who can survive the competition have the ability to live. And if we want to live, we must go through the competition. It would have not come because of the active participation of Sri Anil Bajal, who is Lieutenant Governor of Delhi these days, and late Madam Sushma Swaraj, who was very keen to bring it, and with her effort, there was nothing which could not be achieved. So this is how the community radio came in the country. Now, I go to the next slide. Now, let us see what is a community radio. Community radio is a concept that small FM broadcasting stations with low power can be used to put a localized broadcasting for the benefit of the society and the people. And what it basically has is, this is a real community radio station which was designed, developed by World Development Foundation for Chaudhary Charan Singh Agriculture University, Hisar in Haryana. And it was inaugurated by Honorable Chief Minister Shri Bhupender Singh Hooda. So you'll find this is one production studio. Shri Hooda is sitting here for during inauguration. So we have one production studio, one small recording cum transmission studio. So when people are speaking here, they can be doing all sorts of programs on farmer or anything that we'll discuss about the programs later on. Then this is recorded here. Or if you want to do live broadcasting, then it can go live using transmitters. This is a 50-watt transmitters.
which was also manufactured by World Development Foundation. And then this program goes to a tower and it is broadcasted. This can be received by any receiver. And of course, these days on mobile phones also, there is a provision for FM listening. So it can be listened by mobile phones also. Now in India, when we did the latest plan and in 2002, then we had thought that only about 4,000 community radio stations could be installed in the country. And for doing that, we have to limit the range of the community radio stations. So a 50-watt transmitter and 30-meter tower. This is the range. This is the total limit of the power and height of the tower. And therefore, it covers in between 10 to 15 kilometers of radial area from the university or whatever place we are putting it. So this is the type of range that is covered. The advantage is put it in Karnataka and put the local language, people will get in their language, put it anywhere, you can do it. So that is the advantage. Whether they are educated, they can read, they can write or not, but they can listen to the program in their own local language. This is why we also, when we train the people, we tell them that it should be a local person. If I start going and talking to them, maybe they will not be very happy listening to my way of talking. But if a local lad, a farmer is coming and talking from the studio, then it makes a real impact. So, and then after we had done it, and then in 2007, I talked to Minister of Communication and IT. It was Media Lab Asia. And Media Lab Asia, I wanted to test this use of community radio in the country. And I wanted them to fund the program. And they funded the program for establishing 5 community radio stations in state agriculture universities in different parts of the country. So with their fund and support, World Development Foundation established 5 community radio stations. One, this is Radio Raipur se CM bol raha hu. So this was done in Raipur, Chhattisgarh. Second was done in Kumarganj, Faizabad, UP, because they wanted 5 linguistic regions to be used for this and see the impact. Third was done in Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Coimbatore. Fourth was done is Bihar Agriculture University, Ranchi. And fifth, of course, we just saw Hisar. So in 5 different linguistic regions, we established the community radio stations and we trained the people. We also developed some content, taught them how to produce the content for the radio journalism and radio broadcasting. And this type of thing was done, established. All were inaugurated by either Chief Minister or Governor, so that more people are able to know about it, and there is a wider coverage and curiosity about the community radio station. So this is how it was done, and this entire job was done by 2009. And after doing this, we went to Ministry of Agriculture. Media Lab Asia and World Development Foundation both approached the Ministry of Agriculture. We had certain discussions there. And we showed the impact that what has happened by installing this community radio station. Have the yield has increased? Are the farmers happy? Are they using some new technology? So survey was done and all the details were taken to the Ministry of Agriculture. Minister of Agriculture, there were several meetings. And then in the year 2009 itself, they agreed that any agriculture university or KVK who wants to establish the community radio, the entire funding will come from Ministry of Agriculture. The first year, in fact, and I was member of the committee, 80 crores was put for putting the community radio station. Unfortunately, it could not be utilized. Now, as I told that community radio is a great tool, and we wanted to do another experiment in Ethiopia. And this project was of Ministry of Communication and IT, Government of Ethiopia, and they selected, you can see these remote places, all these remote places, and the places were so remote that there was no hotel, no facilities for washroom, and my people went there and they stayed there. And the entire installation of 7 community radio stations was done within 2 months. And when I went there and met my embassy, they told, you are the only organization for whom they have the appreciation. Otherwise, they always come and tell that we have given this project to the Indian people, it is not happening, it is getting delayed, please help us. But your projects, they are very happy. And when I went and met the Minister of Communication and IT, he stood up and he told, yes, the project has come, and so nicely only because of you. And then I myself traveled to one of the Finote Salem. This is the Finote Salem, I think about 300 kilometers from Addis Ababa. And when I went there, then we were traveling in the car, and everybody has tuned from what distance they can start listening to the Finote Salem. In Ethiopia, they have allowed transmitters of 700 watt powers. Here in India, it is only 50 watt power. There is 700 watt power. And therefore, once we reached about 50 to 60 kilometers nearer to Finote Salem, they started getting their radio programs. And all the people who were traveling with me from the Ministry of Communication and the local Ethiopian people, some administration people, they stopped the car, they started dancing. They were so happy to listen. I think this was the first 5 community radio stations that we established. Maybe one was established earlier in some school. So they were so happy. And just now they have published some paper in academia, and they say that all the 5 community radio stations are working very fine. We put in 2015. It is 2021. So they are all working. We had got very nice and equipment were put, and with standby and certain supports. And this is the appreciation letter which was issued by the His Excellency Ambassador to World Development Foundation. There are another 2 stations that we put in Dhangadi in Nepal. There they allow 3 kilowatt to 5 kilowatt transmitters to be put for community radios. And so this is a 5 kilowatt transmitter which was put over there. Now, what is very important is that community radio can be installed, commissioned, trained, that is one thing. But people have to run it. And for that, they need a lot of programs. And the programs can be anything, as we told. It can be on social development. It can be on livelihood generation, self-employment. In fact, some of the programs that were prepared for Bihar Agriculture University and also for Kumarganj, Faizabad was on how to make pickles. How can you sell your pickles? Where will you sell it? Where is the market? Of course, agriculture, animal husbandry. You can also talk about rights of women and workers. Women programs, question answer, health and hygiene, career guidance, democracy, SDG 2030. All these types of programs can be done with the help of experts, farmers, and locals. Content generation is always done at the field level. It can be modified at remote place. It's all right. Post production can be done there, and these are the ways that can be used for doing the program. This is the program being produced at Coimbatore Agriculture University, and they got a honey seller having a 30-year experience and doing it, and she presented the program, and then it was the expert also came, scientists also came, and they started telling yes what type of the program it could be, and how can she take it to the market, how can she increase their production, and how can the university can help it. This type of interaction can happen by use of the community radio station. Musical programs, certain programs where you want to give information also can be in the part of musical programs, and then they call all the NGOs and self-help groups, village developments, panchayats, and then how to do the farming, how to do other things that can be done. The other very important thing is, you can call the people from the administration or agriculture scientists, and you can interview them and broadcast it. The school teachers and rural sanitation program. So lot of type of program that you can do it for agriculture, related field, development, marketing, how to do it, and so on and so forth. And when the content is made, as I told that, you have to go to the community. You see, you can go to a cobbler, you can go to the field, you can talk to the woman, how they are doing it, what are their problems, and you have to project the problems so that all the administrators, the concerned people, let them listen to it. This is the link for the content. WDF India.radio.htm. If you go there, you will get these programs available there in different languages, right from the Tamil to Hindi to Chhattisgarhi to Haryanvi. Some of the sample programs are there, and they can be seen how good they are, how educative they are. So, community radio, as I told, has a great thing to happen, and it should have happened. And then there is a need for a lot of training for people for production of the program, for management of the station. So we have put here what are the things they have to learn: how to do the recording, editing, archiving, maintenance, how to run it up, and then of course some uploading, etc. How to use the mobile application and like that. This is the training that we import in the Rajkot. This is the recent training that we have done for, I think, 2 weeks back for Kuch Bihar, Panchan and Burma University, where we have put the community radio station and we have extended also for certain things. And this is in Hisar. The VC Hisar is sitting here, he is me. And Hisar Agriculture University, we had all the people trained. And this is some community in Hyderabad, and we put a community radio station and trained their people. So all these people standing are from World Development Foundation. They went, they told how to make the program, how to do it, and this becomes a part of the community radio. Now, before I go here, I want to tell is that unfortunately, when I talked to Madam Sushma Swaraj and Mr. Anil Bajal at that time, our plan was that there should be about 4,000 community radio stations by 6 or 7 in 4 or 5 years. But unfortunately, it has not gone up with a number of things. and it's difficult to tell it here, but maybe slightly because of less zeal of the people for doing it, for making it operational. For example, we had a community radio station in a place known as Bar in Bihar, BRH. And it was a wonderful community radio station. About 300 farmers used to interact daily with the community radio station to tell their problem and get a solution. But the problem is that the normal time of KVK scientists is 10 to something. The farmers comes at 7 o'clock, and they were reluctant to come early and doing it there in their own rules and regulations. So these are the things which have pulled us. So we are hardly having about 20, 30 community radio stations in KVKs and agriculture universities as on date, even after 20 years or so of formulation. So there is a need, and in fact, government must do something to increase the number of community radio stations, which is one of the most effective tools in educating the farmers and putting the knowledge to the farmers. And wherever we did it, in Birsa Agriculture University, the Director Extension did some survey, and he has told that people have started growing certain fruits and vegetables which they were not doing earlier, and therefore their income has increased. So something has to be done about it. It is one way, one step to go ahead. Now, as I told that there is a convergence, all IT technologies are converging, and therefore what we are doing is that we are using three technology. One is we use the local cloud to make the entire thing as a e-university or e-Pathshala. And then we are putting the normal community radio station, which will give you 10 to 20 kilometers of the coverage area. And then we put on the internet, so you can do it on all digital devices anywhere in the world. So this is we call it hybrid radio. So you get a community radio and you can increase the reach. Now, how it is going to affect it, I will tell you in the next slide. Now look here, this is what we did recently for this Kuch Bihar, Panchan and Burma University. And what we have done is, this university is in Kuch Bihar, West Bengal. So we have created three layers. One layer is the cloud radio, which will go in the entire university premises. The second is the community radio, which is about 15 to 20 kilometers. They are having a very good topology. And third layer has gone to internet radio. And by internet radio, we have covered their 15 affiliated colleges. And now, if definitely it happens that generally you are having all the experts and knowledgeable persons and research scholars who happen to be in the university, and in colleges you may not have same expertise of the teaching staff. Therefore, whatsoever you are teaching here, it is available to all the places. So all the the students of the colleges, they get benefited by what you are teaching from the university. And not only that, what happens is the entire thing is recorded. And if you put the recording on a website, that is what I will explain it here, then this recording is not the teacher is gone and thing is gone. It is available to them. And tomorrow, supposing that teacher is not there, but still I'm having the resource. So we are building up the resource using this type of technology. And then we have integrated this with a web. So you can see all these programs are there. And it is also, there is a cloud radio thing which is available, and there is a streaming thing which is available. And the streaming means when the professor is talking here, it is being streamed on the internet. And then there is interactivity using WhatsApp. So he can come back and put certain questions and he can interact with the professor, any of the student who wants to do it, either in writing or in verbally. And the biggest advantage is that the quality of education immediately gets increased because people are listening from anywhere. The content is available on the website for all the time to come. So the teaching methodology is used better. People can ask any question and like that. And here, the university was able to, get back all the investment that he did by increasing a small fee for the students because of the additional things that they are getting it. And that makes it totally viable. And I showed the film in the beginning, agriculture knowledge dissemination system that we did for Bihar. And basic structure was that we created a electronic media production center, which you can see here. And then we put archives and a database. And this knowledge base had a number of videos and audios and texts and different practices that can be done. And then we connected with the high-speed data lines to different Krishi Vikas Kendras. You saw in the film that we connected to 20 KVKs got connected. And it also was put to the internet and web so people can access from anywhere. Inaugurated by Srivastava Kumar. I am here talking to him and explaining the system. Now, what happened is that, here the professors will sit here, and perhaps I can go to the next slide. And now you see, they are connected like this. So what happens is, professor can sit here, you can show them some video and certain practices, and then all the people can listen either on their mobile phones or coming to this KVKs and assisted by the scientists. And when they listen to this, then they can ask the question to the professors. The great advantage that we found that some of the farmers comes here and he shows some plant or some fruit and says, look here, this is the problem happening with my leaves or plant or something like that. What should I do? And the teacher has to give you instant solution like a doctor. You go and you have to put this pesticide or fertilizer or whatever. And then after 2 weeks, he comes back and shouts on him and tells, look here, nothing has happened. So give me a solution. So everybody becomes very active. They are those. And in fact, for implementing such a thing, we had to do a lot of meeting, involvement of Vice Chancellor, talking all the scientists, telling them that you have to tell them. Some were very reluctant. They are telling me, don't know the answer to this. So they have to upgrade their knowledge. So it's not one benefit. There are thousands benefits of this type of thing, where whatsoever prescription you are giving is being used by the farmer, and he comes back and tells it his yield has not increased. So if in 1 acre he is producing say 5 tons, then what happens? If it is not 6 tons, then what is the advantage of anything? You are not doubling the income. Then you are only giving them SP. So if you want to really increase the yield, this type of system is only way. His knowledge has to increase. His methods of sowing, irrigation, farming and marketing has to increase, and it has to come in concrete terms. I go to the next one. And this is the type of studio and electronic media production that we do it. This is a community radio studio. This is the electronic media production. This is editing room. This is production control room. This is sound log sort of system. So this is the type of thing that is developed as a part of hardware. And this coupled with programming and the training, that only makes them useful. I think I have some time. I can continue for some more time.
Yes, Professor, you have time, but it is you can go up to 1 o'clock, no problem.
Okay. Okay.
And no, it's very happy that you are able to give a complete the value chain, that how it was initiated with the world experience and operational experience, and how you are instrumental in through for legislative support. The credit goes to late Srimati Sushma Swaraj, the former Union Minister of INB, and the former Additional Secretary and the first Lieutenant Governor Shri Addl ji. I think it is, and we are very happy to have you today to make address in our national webinar series, that this type of first-hand experience is very much essential today. And please carry on. And I don't want to stop you. Please.
All right. So thank you very much. And what happens is that when I'm doing a project, sometimes I will interact with many other projects, and then I'm not able to sleep. When Mr. Nitish Kumar had to inaugurate in 2011, today it is possible that we are doing video conferencing very easily and we are having slightly better speeds. But in 2011, I had the fiber network didn't reach over there. I had to take the lines, and then last mile connectivity, I had to put by installing micro system from their KVKs, which were in the inner villages, to that place. So even the communication connecting to 20 places was a great challenge at that time. Now it may be much easier with the development of technology, probably better speed, and Elon Musk bringing further higher speed with the satellite. So yes, but everything that we try to do with the challenge, that depends upon how much interest we take it. When I take a project, the project is not anybody else's. It becomes my project, and then I don't sleep. I don't sleep. So let me talk about something that universal interactive education using video, audio, text with self-evaluation. This is a system that we are trying to develop it, and we are also trying to implement for some people. I can't tell the name. We are in the process of signing MOU. So let us see what it is. I call it a hybrid education. So it should be a mix of classroom and online. And this is suitable for higher, middle, and primary education. It is suitable for livelihood generation and lifelong learning. The main features are, it uses audio, video, text, lessons with inbuilt question bank. The interactivity using lectures via video conferencing. And the advantage is this: full course material is available online for learning at any time, anywhere. And the key is, it is as transparent as GMAT. Because no two student is getting the same question. So there is a question bank, and there is a way to randomly select certain question and throw to the student. So once we say that this is the learning objective, then he will not get a certificate as long as he has not fulfilled that objective and he has not gained enough knowledge and skill. So this type of things, which I, once visited BOAC, and I learned from them that they used to train pilots on simulation system And they used to tell that BOAC that once my pilot has been trained here, perhaps we'll be able to fly the plane without actually really having flied earlier. So this type of thing, because you cannot pass the course unless you are learned. So let me see what type of thing it is. So some of the features I will show you first. This is one course which has been done on media and technology. And this course was done by Mr. Singh, who was a former engineer-in-chief of Doordarshan. So he was the coordinator of the course. And the advantage of this course is that you will be having, number one is you can select your language. So if this course has been created, I will show the live one also. So if the course has been created, then any language you can select, you will get it. About 90 languages you can get, and that entire text will change into that language. Second thing is what you are getting in the course and who are the people who are going to do it. That will also come over here. Then you are having all the videos here are available. The text is there, the formats are there, everything is there, and thereafter you have to go through a quiz. So I will go to a live one just after one more slide. Now you see here, there is a course on chicken farming. I tell that some of the courses we created for livelihood generation, and that was for COVID. These all courses are free even today. So anybody can come and learn the course and go away. And he will get a certificate also if he is able to pass and go through the course. Okay. So after that, I am going to the next slide and show you the live. Yes, I am. I think it will come. Yes. Okay. So this is the live course on cattle rearing. This is a livelihood generation course. So people anywhere can do it. Now, the first advantage here is that you can select the language, any language that you want. I think they are, don't make it. So you can have Arabic, Basque, I don't know, so many, Bosnian. So all the languages, French, or any even Arabic languages, Gujarati, anything you can have it. So let me show you going to the Hindi, which I can understand. So cattle rearing have become Pashu Palan, and you can get all the course Seekhne Ka Maqsad, Patkram, etc., etc. So you will be getting in Hindi. So like that, they can select the languages, and this we were trying for this universal one, and so we thought that this course should be available to anybody anywhere in the world, and they can select the language by themselves. Now, when we are talking of the cattle rearing, okay, then there is certain learning objective, that what will he achieve after doing this, and what are the course which is covering cattle rearing for profit, practical and economic aspects of milk production, how to get profit from dairy farming, cattle raising, cattle health and production, from disease and vaccination, clean and healthy milk, etc. And then this also says that what is the background, why you should do it, how the profit will come. It talks about the course material. That text is having 4 lessons, 4 English videos, 7 Hindi videos, And then there are audios are also available, 8 lessons, and then video conferencing. So what we do is that if somebody wants to do this course, of course at present it is all free. So if somebody wants to do this course, what he has to do is he has to log in here, and then first he can go through the course cow hearing. So he is getting the video on this, and then he can further go. Then he will find video lesson English. Then he will go to video lesson in Hindi, and then this is another video lesson, and then like that, and then he will be getting what will you be able to get of this. In the session we will learn selection of this, and then how do you select the cow breed and like that. So these are the lesson. So he learns the lesson in advance, and then now if I will show you one lesson which has been recorded by Aparajita. Yes, let me see this lesson. This is the lesson on cattle health and protection from diseases and vaccination. Okay, and then we have given different languages. They can select any language they want it. So we go in the English one, and then I will play this.
I'm Apradita Srivastava from WDF University. I'm going to tell you about cattle health and protection from diseases and also vaccination. Animals that produce milk need to be healthy and an effective healthcare program should be in place. Diseases in milk animals. Animals are prone to occasional sickness and diseases. Symptoms of sick animals. Change in the behavior of an animal is an indication of the sickness in the animal. Animal requires immediate medical attention during sickness. Sick animals become dull and tired and the lips and ears droop. Sick animals stop feeding their young ones and there is less production of milk. Sick animals pass loose tongue and colored urine, and sometimes they may either feel very hot or very cold. Diseases of milch animals are classified into three categories: parasitic, communicable, and non-communicable. Diseases in milch animals. Animals are prone to occasional sickness and diseases. Parasitic diseases. Parasitic diseases may be caused by ectoparasites and entoparasites. Ectoparasites are external parasites such as ticks, fleas, and lice, which mainly live in skin and cause skin diseases. Endoparasites are worms such as tapeworm that are found inside the body of the animals and affect the stomach and intestine. Communicable diseases. Communicable diseases in milch animals are caused by pathogens such as viruses, bacteria, and fungi. Viral diseases. Most common viral diseases in milch animals are foot and mouth diseases and cowpox disease. Foot and mouth disease is a common, highly contagious viral disease in milch animals. Animals suffering from this disease exhibit blisters on their feet and mouth, excessive salivation, and limping and shivering with high body temperature. Cowpox is a viral disease caused by pox virus. Affected animals develop small nodules all over their bodies. Bacterial diseases. Cattle suffer from bacterial diseases like cattle plague or rinderpest, salmonellosis, and anthrax. Anthrax is a very acute and infectious bacterial disease. It causes the swelling in the body parts of the animal, especially the neck, and is accompanied by high fever. Fungal diseases. Milch animals also suffer from fungal diseases such as ringworm disease. Fungus infect the intestines and other organs of the milch animals. The symptoms of this disease are gray-white areas of skin with an ash-like surface that are circular, slightly raised, and are found on different body parts. Non-communicable diseases. Non-communicable diseases are the diseases which are caused by nutrient deficiency, malfunctioning of body organs, and mechanical injuries such as fractures. Vaccination. Regular vaccination is the easiest and the cheapest way to prevent diseases.
So, like that, there will be so many courses and videos in Hindi and English, and then there is also provision for getting the script of English video in any language they want, and here, of course, we can always change the text language, and they get all the details here about vaccination, other things. Now, what happened? They are also having the audio lessons, so people can listen to the audio also, some of the lessons. And once they have completed this lesson, then comes this quiz portion. Now, it says you have learned in this course about clean milk production, which covered the following topics. This, all those topics. Now you have to go through the quizzes to qualify this course. So what it contains is it creates a question bank, and for every student that he has gone to this course, he will get a different question using a random selection. For example, he says milk and milk products are the best sources of calcium, iron, and like that they will go on putting yes or no, and then you go to the next question, and I will just put it so that it becomes all right or wrong. Wrong. Yes, right. Next. Now it says that 5 out of 10, and it says that because you have got less than 80%, so you have not passed the course, and you have to go through the course again. So he gets, based on the objective of the course, as long as he has not got enough skill. In certain courses, we have also put a photo of the cow with certain disease, and then we ask them, okay, find out which disease it is. So once he has gone through that and he has learned all the lessons completely and he become competent with this, then only he passes this course. Nobody can help him, neither the examiner, nor his teacher, nor his professor, anybody. It is only the computer which is going to test it. So this type of course helps people and then the courses that are available here are on different one, the online courses. This is course on SDGB 2030. The type of education, COVID 2019, what education philosophy should be adopted for that. There are certain courses available on that. Women empowerment. And in women empowerment, we are having a lot of skill development courses. By going through these courses, for example, honeybee keeping or chicken farming. Now, if they are putting chicken farming in the backyard, okay, they can learn it. In certain places, it has also been told that you have to spend just 500 rupees. You can bring this and like that you can grow and start earning money. So livelihood courses are there, and then we are having agriculture and diet courses are there. Then of course artificial intelligence, and then mass media and communication, like that. So many courses are there for people to go ahead, do it, and this type of education has the great advantage that people can study at their own place, at their own pace, and at their own place, anywhere. They can study in their own languages, and they can uh, they can get certified only once you have really understood the course and you have done it. Then within that, there is also a provision of interaction. The teacher comes and he teaches. He says, okay, you have gone through the video. Now let us discuss the video. Now teacher is also teaching there, and through video conferencing within the course, and whatever teacher is talking to you, that also gets recorded, and that becomes a future course. So this type of interaction is one way of doing it, and this is also a mode of, I will not say normal broadcasting, but a convergent broadcasting using convergence. Now we do a lot of international and national seminars. In fact, this was the conference that we did with Ministry of Agriculture and Media Lab Asia of MCIT. And here we had called all the chief secretaries, of course, all didn't come, and agriculture secretaries written by Ministry of Agriculture that they should either attend themselves or send somebody to know how community radio can be used for the benefit of the farming community. And they came, something happened, and then in the normal bureaucratic system, the things have gone slow again. So, as I told, that there are hardly 30 to 40 community radio stations for all the agriculture universities. There are more than 50 agriculture universities and 700 KVKs. So, it has not gone as it had happened. And then we had, of course, here Professor Moni was there. He knew that, he knows that we had with Addl, UN and other universities, we had a conference for using SDG, using technology for SDG 2030, and even to say that one of the agriculture university whose vice chancellor was here, he promised that he has got sanction for 30 community radio stations. But I don't know what has happened. I don't think anything has happened on that. So people will have to be proactive. Maybe certain, if the orders comes at certain top level, maybe they may be more proactive. Here we did intend in broadcasting. Mr. Baijal is here, and this is the Vice Chancellor of the Guru Gobind Singh University. And then we get students from different places in the world for knowing, visiting our place, seeing the way we work, and also knowing how a non-profit organization like WDF works. And these students came from, EFR Rotterdam in Netherlands, and they were the management students, and they came here. And then I asked them how you have selected out of all World Development Foundation, and they told they could listen from somewhere that this is one organization who is working in the field of knowledge and agriculture, and so they wanted to do it. We also got a team from Japan who wanted to see what we have done and how we have done. This is a workshop we did with the help of Team CAD France, which is the biggest organization who working in digital broadcast technology. So they had come here and they wanted to understand what India is doing in the field of broadcasting, especially going towards digital. And we organize and call all the top people from broadcast services, including All India Radio and Doordarshan. And there was a very live interaction to know the future of broadcasting and how can it be used and in what way it could be profitable. And then this is some of the footprint that we have done. I have already done almost, we have worked throughout India at different places, putting a lot of radio stations and TV stations, electronic media production centers. Some of the universities have put electronic media production to great use, especially when they want to teach media courses. And UGC gives some funding for those university who wants to do media courses. And we helped Khalsa College of Delhi University, who has got about 5 crores for starting this type of system and teaching. So it is best way, because we cannot teach just by giving a lecture. They have to come, they have to do practically. And as I told, when we are talking of the agriculture, at the end of the day, the farmer should not be able to be happy by just saying that, okay, I created so many quintals of wheat. Last year I am having so many quintals of wheat. This year also, but the MSP has increased, so my income has doubled. It has not happened. It has not happened. And this will not take them to where they want to go. Only way to happen is, last year I produced 2 quintals. Now I use better technology, better farming, better marketing, and my thing has gone to 4 quintals, and now I have earned more money. Then that is the way to go ahead if you want to really make the planet a good place to live, and we want to sustain the planet. It may be possible to increase the yield by putting some more pesticide, or by putting some more insecticide or something like that. But the way to go ahead is to use the technology and the knowledge for the growth. Next. So that is all I wanted to tell. I'm so grateful. And this is the end of my slide. So how do I go back? Huh? Escape. Then no. You have gone to wrong place.
You have to come out.
Okay, yes.
Stop sharing.
Stop sharing.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay. So it was great. And,
yeah, it was very nice, Dr. Srivastava ji, and your great experience, expertise, and your vision and your mission on community radio stations for this country, for knowledge transmission, knowledge explosion, and also having an end product like knowledge agriculture trademark of World Development Foundation. And it is a wonderful lecture, and there is an query. Please respond, Mr. Mahantesh Patel. You can read it and then you can respond.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the question. And I think that the community radio is not a very expensive method of doing it. It is one of the cheapest method to reach the people. The advantage of the community radio is over any other mode of communication. For example, you can talk of YouTube, or you can talk of Facebook or anything. At least you need a smartphone, and you also have to pay something for the data. Here you don't pay anything. So, when we create a delivery system, and my 50 years of working in broadcast organizations, we always want that the end user should not pay anything for what we are doing it. If end user has also to share the cost, then it becomes difficult. So when we are doing the delivery, in the case of community radio, the farmers doesn't spend a penny. He only needs a, a receiver of say 40 rupees, 50 rupees, or any cheap mobile which is already using is also having FM. So he's not paying anything. But when you go for this type of thing like Facebook, YouTube, of course, you can again reach there, and the data is becoming cheaper these days with Geo Mobile or like that. But still, he needs to have a phone. He needs to have the data. Many places the data links are not very good. Villages it is not available. Still, it may happen in some time. And the other thing is that on Facebook or YouTube, you are getting maze of information. And when you are going to the Facebook or maze or YouTube or any such social media, then you can get diverted. In a community radio, what we call, if it is done for agriculture, we call it a farm radio. So agriculture, if a farmer tunes in the morning, he wants to know information on agriculture. So it is more devoted. It is more focused on a particular theme. So this is why community radio is not expensive. It is cheaper, and in many places in the country, it has been used with a great benefit.
It's very nice that his question also is very important, that when you have the entry of digital and mobility services with reachable cost and entry to do, how community radio station, you also very nicely answered, because you have to have a signature tune, because when for any all the radio stations or Doordarshan, you would have a signature tune that is more important, for the people to get attracted. So this is customized and dedicated to the point for the farmers in the local language without any hacking. Today Facebook or WhatsApp or anything which can be hacked, but it is a local language to the farmer is more important. And these technologies, there are many technologies can come, but the thing is that some of the technologies which are which can deliver goods with confidence to the common man, that way, especially for the farmers in local language. And once again, it is a competition, content delivery, and it's trustworthiness only can stand at the ground. So let the competition have its day. That's more important. And but Mr. Manish, is there any other query? No. Otherwise, he would have. Yeah. Okay. He's once again he's asking, what is the status of government plan to turning CAIRS into a virtual rural knowledge center for sustainability?
Yes, this is a very good question, and I forgot to talk about it. When in 2001 we had started community radio, there was a question of how people will be able to sustain with the expenses on the community radio station. So number one, it has been allowed that every hour of normal program, you will have 5 minutes of advertisement. So you can get advertisement from fertilizer company or any related pesticide company, any place, and you can broadcast 5 minutes per hour of advertisement. 1, 2, DAVP, which is a government organization, that all the advertisements which are given by different government agencies, that goes via DAVP. Now DAVP has been told, and it has become a rule now, that some of the advertisement will compulsorily go to the community radio stations, and every community radio station who has become operational gets some advertisement from DVP, which they broadcast, they submit the bid, and they get money. So you can make it sustainable.
Mr. Manish? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Patel, for your very pertinent question and also participating in this important program. Thank you very much, and keep tuned to this program on every Thursday at 11 a.m. Now it is now 1 o'clock. Now we have exceeded our time limit, and Dr. Srivastava, it is very important that you delivered the talk today for empowering farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination. And you covered almost a lot of points. It gives a value chain. And it is not only the technology which you talked about it, but you have talked from the how the minister of the day in 2002 took interest, and the present Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Addl Baijalji, and yours as a technocrat, all the three were instrumental in bringing out a community radio station act in the country. And even though you have visualized for about 6,000 community radio stations in the country, quite unfortunately, that India has reached only about something like less than 50 community radio stations, even though we have more than 750 Krishi Vigyan Kendras, and every district has got a Atma Agriculture Technology Management Agency. There are so many engineering colleges, 1,500 universities, and also about 400 agriculture colleges and 100 ICAR institutions, and about 100 agricultural university, both private and public, and many agriculture university having agriculture discipline. For that matter, Shobhit University is the first university, Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, having 4 centers of excellence, out of the 2 centers of excellence dealing with the Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Government Research Studies, synergization of IT and Agriculture Technology, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies. It is very important that technology-enabled knowledge dissemination to 140 million agricultural operational holders in the country is very important. 14 crore farming community. They are voiceful. They are not voiceless, but they are not unreachable. And they have to be reached in the local language. In that connection, the 7 mission mode program of introducing digital technology in agriculture and the 3 farm acts which were introduced in 2020 can facilitate through this such type of technologies, especially common radio station, to establish agri-tech startups in every block. At least one in every block, resulting in 6,500 community radio stations in the country to facilitate the 14 crore farmers to produce about 400 agriculture commodities and the livestock and fishery sector very effectively. India is the only country which has got rain, there's sunshine every day.
Yeah.
And they produce, throughout the year. So our agricultural value chain has to be technology enabled, and it is traceable, and we should be able to bring out a complete, chemical residue free, this, awareness to the farming community in the language in which they can understand, taking care of the, reading, problems. So, today, that way, in today's lecture is very important. And it is a technology revolution during the last 20 years, starting from 2002 to 2021. The country should be filled with community radio stations. It's very important, and hope that I'm very happy that the World Development Foundation has signed an MOU with the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology to establish a center of excellence or using mass media for agriculture development. This is an important thing to show to the whole world, to India, that how even a non-agricultural university, an engineering university, can facilitate the technology for the benefit of the agriculture farming community. And I'm very happy that with the various pilot projects, both in India and also abroad, through various ministries, you have demonstrated and how the technology can be used, and how the online courses can be organized for the benefit of the rural students, and having hybrid technologies, the cloud radio and Wi-Fi radio and internet radio, and having both audio and video communications. So this technology has to be adopted in a very big manner, and my request will be that the World Development Foundation and the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology have to activate the memorandum of understanding which we have signed last year, to see to that the benefits of this technology to the farming community in the rural area is reaching, and they become wiseful, not the wiseless. They have to be reached. So thank you very much for your participating in this program, and for any research inquiries, please contact Professor Moni Manaswamy, Professor Emeritus and Chairman, and former Director General, National Informatics Center, Government of India. My email address is moni@sovietuniversityaz.in. Thank you very much, and we leave the webinar and leave studio.
Thank you very much. Thanks.